Now let's turn to the Washington swamp, where Joe Biden had a very big day. After another long weekend away from the White House, he returned to conduct a very important meeting with the Easter Bunny. And it went, well, about as well as you can imagine. In just a moment, we're going to show you all of today's very sad lowlights, yet predictable. But first, we begin with a message to the White House press secretary and soon-to-be MSDNC employee Jen Psaki. Now, last week, during a public event with her far-left friends, well, Jen Psaki smeared our very own Peter Doocy and this network. Listen to this.
We have to talk about Peter Doocy for 1 second.
Sure.
Is he a stupid son of a bitch? Or does he play a stupid son of a bitch on TV?
He works for a network
Okay.
that provides people with questions that nothing personal to any individual, including Peter Doocy, but might make anyone sound like a stupid son of a bitch.
Now, I wonder if that means it's open season now. The woke crowd is put their seal of approval on calling people stupid son of a bitches. Well, I mean, I can start with a pretty big list myself. But not only what Jen Psaki is doing by trashing Peter Doocy, she's also lying, as per usual. Peter's questions are his own. He is respectful in how he asks the questions. He asks very good, timely questions surrounding important topics like the crisis at our southern border, the crisis in Afghanistan, the inflation crisis, the oil and gas crisis, the COVID crisis, the COVID hypocrisy, and every other crisis this administration pretty much mangles every single day. So let's face it, the Biden White House is a train wreck, and they hate being held accountable by Fox News. Well, too bad. We're here. Get used to it.
Will you take President Biden away from that? Do you think you place this in political liability?
That's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bitch.
What a stupid son of a bitch. I guess that in woke land means it's okay to say that to about anybody you care to say it about. Wasn't that long ago when Biden vowed to bring kindness, respect, unity back to the White House? And he said that if you acted this way, you'd be fired on the spot. No ifs, no ands, no buts. He said it. Take a look.
I'm not joking when I say this. If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot. On the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody is entitled to be treated with decency and dignity.
Joe has to fire himself right on the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts, and he has to fire Jen Psaki. What happened, Joey? Now, of course, Psaki will not be fired. And to borrow a phrase, at this point, well, what difference does it make? Psaki already has one foot out the door. And keep in mind, instead of getting critical information to you, the American people, we, the American people, Psaki spent the last 14 months auditioning for her new gig at MSDNC, full of so-called clapbacks, as they call them, and other made-for-TV moments. So congratulations to Jen Psaki. According to reports, she got the job. She's going to fit right in there because, for the most part, maybe a few exceptions, her new colleagues are holier-than-thou conspiracy theorists and totally, completely dishonest partisan hacks that pretend to be journalists. So, Jen, I guess you'll feel right at home, and you can keep on lying, and you'll probably get paid a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. After all, she was a big supporter of the Russia collusion hoax. We know that. She even strongly suggested Hunter Biden's laptop scandal was Russian disinformation. We now know that's not true. Psaki was lying, but she still refuses to correct the record. We know Jen Psaki also lied about Afghanistan. She said, quote, "It's irresponsible to say that Americans are stranded. They are not." Well, they were. And, of course, it's now day 247 of Americans abandoned in Afghanistan. But, again, don't expect circle back Jen Psaki to ever correct the record. Last year, Psaki also repeatedly lied about the administration's so-called progress at our southern border. 2021 ends up like the single worst year of illegal immigration in history, with more apprehensions than ever before, including a record number of unaccompanied children. Can you really call that progress, Jen? And, of course, Jen's, don't forget about Biden's overcrowded cages for kids. Remember those cages you put the kids in, overcrowded in the middle of a pandemic? And don't forget the preferential treatment that Joe Biden is giving illegal immigrants. No COVID tests, no vaccine mandates. Jen Psaki said, because they're not going to be here very long. Here means in that exact same spot, because they usually would fly them all around the country, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. flights of illegal immigrants flown into obscure airports. But according to Jen, that's not the middle of the night. 2 a.m., 4 a.m. is not the middle of the night. They are called early morning flights in MSDNC, Jen Psaki land. And remember, Psaki also lied when she blamed Putin for the rise in gas prices. We proved that to be a lie last week again. She lied when she said inflation was transitory and temporary. We proved that to be a lie last week. She even lied about the price of hot dogs. And get this, Jen Psaki once actually accused Republicans of supporting the defund the police movement. Not true. Now, sadly, these lies are just the tip of the iceberg, but as always, we'll let you decide.
You may have noticed this week that your gas prices have gone up. I want to talk to you a little bit about why. A lot of it has to do with Vladimir Putin.
It's broadly known and widely known, Peter, that there was a broad range of Russian disinformation back in 2020.
Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night. As individuals come across the border and they are both assessed for whether they have any symptoms. If they have symptoms, the intention is for them to be quarantined. That is our process. They're not intending to stay here for a lengthy period of time.
Now, ultimately, Jen Psaki is the perfect representation of this White House. Dishonest, classless, mean-spirited, with their religious, cult-like belief and far-left policies that hurt the country. Now, the biggest lie from this White House is hiding right in plain sight. Joe Biden, your president, is not up to the job of being president. He is so obviously struggling cognitively, but the administration, they're pretending like all is well. Well, all is not well. And today, a White House staffer dressed up, I wonder who got this job, as the Easter Bunny, blocking the president from answering questions about foreign policy, things that actually matter. No, you can't. Don't make Joe talk off the top of his head. He can't handle it. Why is the Easter Bunny interrupting the president of the United States and blocking him from answering questions? And at one point during the very same event, well, First Lady Jill Biden, she was forced to remind Joey to wave. Wave, Joe, wave. Take a look.
Welcome to the South Lawn. Thank you and happy, happy Easter. All right.
Wait. Wave, Joe. She also had to remind her husband where to sit. Take a look.
Okay, just stay.
She's telling me just sit, don't move. She's a teacher.
I'm the teacher, you know.
She's a teacher.
The First Lady also helped the president read a children's book. He needed help. Take a look.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly read Brown Bear, so you're all not soaking wet.
And they're not going to let me read it all.
I'll let you, here, you can start us off. Can you, oh, here,
Can I
I'll
read
let
backwards?
It read the first page. Go ahead.
Brown bear, what do you see? I see a bird looking at me. Now you got it.
Okay. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me.
Blue horse.
Hold on.
All right, in fairness, it's nice they're reading to children. Okay, I can deal with all of that. But does anyone really believe that Joe Biden is capable of handling the rigors of what is definitely the hardest job on earth? Remember last week, very confused-looking Biden attempted to shake hands after his speech. Watch, he's shaking hands with nobody. And he leaves his hand there for several seconds, looks around with his hand out. You know, where is everybody? Take a look for yourself.
God bless you all.
I don't know what to say. Does anyone around Joe Biden, this is a serious question, did they love him enough to do the right thing and tell him, Joe, for your own personal good and the good of the country, you need to consider retiring immediately. Anybody care about him? Because apparently even the president's hometown paper, that would be the Washington Post, they seemingly want him gone. A little embarrassing today, kind of a huge insult to the White House, as the Washington Post published this article, the top 10 Democratic presidential candidates for 2024, ranked. Now, they do have Joey at number 1. He's intent on, if he's intent on running for re-election. At number 2, it's not Kamala Harris. Nope. There it is, Transportation Secretary, small-town mayor, South Bend, Pete Buttigieg, with that wealth of experience that he has. And his advice that everyone buy an electric car and get used to high gas prices, because unless we have energy independence from clean, new energy, we're never going to stop paying the high prices for gasoline. Number 3, Vice President Kamala Harris. God help us. The administration is in a free fall, and now even the media mob is looking to jump ship. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.